U.S. pilot rescued and adopted a girl 20 years ago. Her gratitude years later was beyond belief. 20 years ago, a U.S. pilot landed in a war-torn African village. His mission changed his life forever. Amid the chaos, he saved a young girl. He made a choice that shaped their futures. He adopted her and brought her to America. What happened next is a story of love, strength, and gratitude. You won't believe how she thanked him for her new life. The story unfolds with an incredible twist. Ethan, a 45-year-old U.S. Air Force veteran, flew a UN helicopter. He soared over eastern Congo. Nearing Goma, his task was to deliver medical supplies to a refugee camp. The camp sat along the Kivu River, sheltering thousands. People fled there after brutal village attacks. Below, the land showed scars of war, jungle and ruined homes. As he neared a village called Mweso, an explosion rocked the helicopter. Alarms screamed, and smoke choked the engine. Rebel gunfire from below had hit its mark. Ethan gripped the controls, searching for a safe spot. He spotted a clearing near the wrecked village. He crash-landed, the impact jarring his bones. Ethan stepped from the wrecked helicopter, heart pounding. The village of Mweso lay in ruins around him. Burned homes and shattered lives filled the air with silence. He called out, hoping to find someone, anyone. Then he saw her. A girl, about 6, sat against a crumbled mud wall. She clutched a doll made of scraps. Her face smudged with dirt. Her wide eyes, full of fear, locked onto him. He knelt slowly, keeping his voice soft. "Hey there, I'm Ethan. What's your name?" She didn't answer, her small hands tightening on the doll. He tried Swahili, gentle and calm. "I'm here to help you. You're safe now." The girl's lips moved, barely a whisper. "Lila." Ethan smiled, hoping to ease her fear. "Lila, that's a beautiful name." He glanced at the destruction around them. "Are you alone? Where's your family?" Lila's eyes dropped to the ground. Her voice was small, trembling. "My mama and papa, they're gone." Ethan's chest tightened. "Gone? What happened, Lila?" She hugged her doll closer. Her words slow. "A bomb came. It was loud. Everything broke. Mama didn't wake up. Papa was holding me. Then he fell." Tears traced paths through the dirt on her cheeks. "I waited, but they didn't come back." Ethan's throat closed, the weight of her words heavy. He saw the village's scars, smoke, ash, loss. "Do you have anyone else? Aunts, uncles, friends?" Lila shook her head, her voice barely audible. "No one, just me now." Ethan's heart ached, a deep pull he couldn't name. Her eyes, so young, carried a pain too big. He thought of the war's toll. Stealing families, homes. Something stirred in him, strong and certain. This girl, alone in the rubble, wasn't a stranger. She felt like someone he was meant to find. "Lila," he said softly, "you're not alone anymore." She looked up, confused, her small hand still. "I'm going to take care of you. Okay?" Her gaze searched his face. Unsure but curious. Ethan felt a bond, instant and unshakable. He didn't know how, but he knew she was his purpose. He wanted to shield her from war's cruelty. He wanted to give her a home, a future. The thought of adoption flashed in his mind. It wasn't just pity, it was a promise. He'd lost no child, but he felt her loss as his own. "I'll keep you safe," he said, voice steady. Lila didn't speak, but her eyes softened. She reached out, her tiny hand touching his. It was cold, trembling, but it held trust. Ethan closed his hand gently around hers. In that moment, amid the ruins, a family began. He stood, still holding her hand. They walked to the helicopter. His radio crackling. The hills of Goma stood quiet in the distance. Ethan knew his life had changed forever. He'd bring Lila to safety. To a new life. War had taken her past. But he'd give her a future. Ethan brought Lila to Bozeman, Montana. The town nestled among the Bridger Mountains. The calm Gallatin River wound through it. This quiet place was nothing like Mweso's chaos. For Lila, the new world felt strange and big. Her arrival began a new chapter for both. Ethan faced the challenge of adoption. He was learning to be a father for the first time. Lila spoke little, always holding her scrap doll. At night, her soft cries filled the house. Memories of Mweso haunted her sleep. Ethan tried to soothe her. He left a lamp on in her room. He played gentle music. He cooked simple meals, though she ate little. One day, They walked along the Gallatin River. Lila stopped and picked up a smooth stone. She turned it in her hands and smiled. She slipped it into her pocket like a treasure. Ethan's heart warmed. He saw a spark of hope. After that, Lila began to explore Bozeman. She traced Ethan's old maps. She watched him tinker in the shed. Her English grew as Ethan taught her. He named the birds they saw on walks. He pointed out stars in the night sky. One evening, on the porch under a starry blanket, Lila spoke. She pointed to a tall tree in the yard. "What's its name?" she asked quietly. "That's a lodgepole pine," Ethan said, smiling. "It's tough, like you," she whispered. Lodgepole. Ethan felt hope grow. Adoption was more than papers. It was a path of love, trust, and healing. Lila's past lingered, but Bozeman gave her safety. As Lila settled in, her curiosity bloomed. She asked how things worked. She wondered about the radio in the kitchen. She was curious about Ethan's truck engine. One day, in the shed, Ethan found her. She was taking apart a broken lantern. She studied its pieces carefully. Instead of scolding, Ethan helped her rebuild it. When the light flickered on, Lila beamed. From then, Ethan nurtured her interest. He bought her science kits. He took her to a museum in Billings. She loved the hands-on exhibits. At home, they fixed small things together. They mended a creaky gate. They built a model rocket. The shed became their special place. Laughter mixed with moments of frustration. For Ethan, these times strengthened their bond. For Lila, they opened a world of dreams. As Lila grew, her questions changed. She wanted to know about her homeland. She asked about Mweso, Goma, and Congo. Ethan encouraged her. One weekend, they visited an African cultural fair in Billings. Lila watched Congolese dancers with awe. Their bright moves stirred something in her. She asked Ethan if he'd seen such dances on missions. He shared stories of Congo. He spoke of its strong people and beautiful land. He told of its wars and pain. He showed her his old mission photos. He gave her books about Congo. For Lila, this connected her past and present. She began to embrace both parts of herself. She found strength in her roots. 20 years passed since Ethan met Lila in Mweso. Ethan, now 65, had retired in Bozeman. His strong frame moved slower but held quiet strength. Lila, 26, was a talented aerospace engineer. She worked on advanced projects in Seattle. Their bond stayed deep, built on years of love. During a weekend visit to Bozeman, Ethan shared a secret. He hadn't felt well for months. Doctors gave him hard news. He had a rare nerve disease, stealing his strength. Lila sat at the kitchen table, gripping her mug. "There's a new treatment," Ethan said calmly. "But it's tricky. It needs a mineral, tantalum. That's hard to find." "Where is it?" Lila asked, voice sharp. Ethan paused. "Mostly mined in Congo, near Goma." The words hung heavy. Goma brought back memories for Lila. The smoke, the broken streets, the silence of Mweso. It was the place she'd left behind. The place Ethan saved her from. She set her mug down firmly. "I'll go." "No," Ethan said, voice rising. "It's too dangerous. You've built a life here. I won't let you risk it for me." Lila's eyes held steady. "You risked everything for me once. You gave me this life. Ethan, how could I not do this for you?" Ethan leaned back, her words sinking in. He saw the same spark he'd seen years ago. She was the girl who held his hand in the rubble. Now, she was a strong, determined woman. But to him, she was still his little girl. "It's not simple," he said softly. "The area is still unstable. Armed groups control the mines." His voice broke. Lila reached across the table. Her hand steadied his. "You saved me, Ethan. I'm doing this because of you. Let me try." Silence followed, thick with fear and understanding. Neither would give up. Ethan nodded, heart heavy. He knew he couldn't stop her. In the days after, Lila prepared. She studied maps of the Goma region. She contacted aid groups. She used her engineering contacts for safe entry to Congo. She kept Ethan updated, though it hurt to talk. "You don't have to do this," he said one last time. She stood by her car. Bags packed. "I do," she replied softly. She hugged him tight, face in his shoulder. "You taught me to be brave. Now it's my turn." As Lila drove away, Ethan stood on the porch. His hand gripped the railing. He watched her car fade down the road. His heart mixed pride and worry. "She'll come back," he said aloud, hoping. When Lila landed in Kinshasa, the humid air hit her. The busy streets stirred old memories. It had been over 20 years since she left Congo. The city felt both strange and familiar. Her trip to Goma, near Rwanda border, was tense. The closer she got to Mweso, the more memories returned. The land looked like her past, loss and fear. Her goal was to get tantalum from the mines. Armed militias controlled the area. The mines were dangerous, workers toiling under guards. To get in, Lila met Juma, the militia leader. His eyes were cold, suspicious. "Why should I trust you?" he asked. "I'm not just an outsider," Lila said firmly. "I was born here. Mweso is my home too." She shared a plan to improve the mines. Her engineering skills would help the community. Trust came during a mine collapse. Workers were trapped below. Lila led the rescue. Using her knowledge, she stabilized the structure. The workers came out alive. Juma's doubt softened. "You'll get your tantalum," he said gruffly. For 2 days, Lila oversaw the extraction. She ensured it was safe and fair. The trip back to Goma turned dangerous. Their convoy was ambushed. Bullets ripped through the jungle. Panic spread, but Lila stayed calm. Her quick thinking got them through. The tantalum was safe. On the tarmac in Goma, Lila looked at Mweso's hills. It wasn't a place of fear anymore. It felt like redemption. She'd secured the mineral for Ethan. She'd also found a piece of herself. When Lila landed in Seattle, she didn't rest. The tantalum, packed tightly, felt heavy. It carried the weight of Ethan's life. She took a cab, hands shaking. She texted the doctors she was coming. At the hospital, she ran through quiet halls. She clutched the package close. The lead doctor met her, surprised but relieved. "This gives us a real shot," he said. He took the mineral carefully. As he left, Lila's exhaustion hit. She leaned against the cold wall. Her mind flashed with memories. Kinshasa's loud streets, Mweso's mines, the terrifying ambush. None of it mattered now. Ethan had a chance. The next 2 days blurred. Doctors used the mineral in Ethan's treatment. Lila stayed at the hospital. She slept little, sitting in hard chairs. Nurses brought her coffee and kind words. She couldn't relax. On the 3rd morning, a nurse touched her shoulder. "He's awake." Lila's heart raced as she followed. Ethan looked weak. His strong frame faded, but his eyes lit up when he saw her. They held the warmth she'd always known. "You're here," he said, voice faint but clear. "Of course," Lila said, throat tight. She sat beside him, hands gentle on his. Ethan looked at her, eyes soft. "You've always been my hero," he said, "since the day we met." Tears filled Lila's eyes. "You gave me a life," she whispered. "It was my turn to give you yours." Ethan's hand squeezed hers weakly. "You've done more than that. You've shown me what bravery looks like." They sat quietly. The hum of machines filled the room. Lila watched Ethan's familiar face. Now fragile. She thought of all he'd been for her. He was her rock in Bozeman. He guided her through school and doubts. His quiet strength held her up. Now, she had saved him. Sunlight poured through the window. A warm glow filled the room. Lila felt peace settle in. The journey had pushed her to her limits. But sitting here, with Ethan safe, it was worth it. "You'll be okay," she said softly. She spoke to herself as much as to him. Ethan gave a small smile. "Because of you." Months later, Ethan was home in Bozeman. The Bridger Mountains hugged the town. He was recovering, stronger each day. Lila visited every weekend. Her laughter filled the house. She shared stories of her work in Seattle. She told of her trip to Congo. She spoke of families she met. She hummed songs she'd heard. She found pride in her roots. One evening, the sun sank behind the peaks. The sky glowed orange and purple. They sat on the porch. Lila leaned back, eyes on the horizon. "I found them," she said quietly. "Pieces of my family. It was like finding myself." Ethan smiled, his hand on hers. "I'm proud of you," he said, voice warm. "You've given me more than I gave you." Lila shook her head, turning to him. "You gave me hope," she said. That was everything. In the quiet, they sat together. Their love needed no words. Their journey had come full circle. 2 lives, forever linked, built on courage, strength, and a second chance. Some stories stay with us. They remind us of love's power. Ethan saved Lila from a broken village. Years later, she saved him. Her gratitude brought them both home. It makes you wonder, can love cross oceans and wars? Can a second chance change everything? Ethan and Lila's story says yes. Their bond, born in chaos, grew in peace. It lives in every moment they share.